Hey there, everybody out there in social media land, the world in general. I wanted to take the time to realign my business with good people. In simple terms, it's time that I start seeking good people for my business instead of just people. Because although the left wants to talk about some utopia where everybody aligns with them and everybody thinks like them, and you're not a good person unless you think like a liberal, I'm tired of it. I'm over it. I'm done. I've been a liberal my whole life. I've voted Democrat for 49 years of my life. And I didn't stop voting Democrat until you started calling everybody foul names. And then I stood up as a Democratic voter and said, stop calling my family and friends Nazis just because they didn't vote like you. That was enough to get me condemned as a Nazi, get condemned as a Klansman. It's kind of funny, as you can see the tattoo on my arm with blood, sun, and earth of a Rastafarian nature that has nothing to do with white people. Yet here I am being called a Nazi for telling other people not to call people Nazi. That's how sick these people are. I have no more tolerance for those who want to claim tolerance, but then call every non-leftist human being a Nazi, Klansman, alt-right, oppressor, white guilt, colonizer, white nationalist, homophobe, transphobe, racist, toxic masculinity, misogynistic, or any of these other foul names. To be clear, all of these names are used to place guilt and conviction and ultimately judgment and punishment on anyone who opposes the left, Democrat, or liberal ideology. They do this so they can treat human beings like dirt. Once they call you Hitler or Nazi, they're justified in all of their foul behavior. It goes like this. I said he was Hitler. She said he was Hitler. They said he was Hitler. The media said he was Hitler. We have convicted him as Hitler. Then we decide that anyone and everyone who does not agree with us is a Nazi, Third Reich, white Christian racist. My media said they were all threats to democracy. So we have a right to riot, hurt, kill, burn, and do whatever we want. We must rise up and punch the guy in the face behind the bleachers, Biden said. They do this under some false sense of hero complex, like they're saving us from ourselves by being vile. This is the process of a hate group. Once they dehumanize you, they have and can justify any action that they take or that the left in general takes. It's just sickening. Next, they want to tell you that both the left and the right call each other names, so it's all fair games. But the moderates call you libtard. And the last time I checked, nobody compares calling a person dumb to calling someone the absolute worst name you could come up with, and that's Hitler and Nazi, white supremacist. We are not the same. Let me say that again. We are not the same. It's time we hold them accountable for the hate that they create. I remind you, first of all, not everyone votes. Secondly, of all the people that do vote, not all Republicans are white. There are literally billions of people on this planet that align with traditional values. They are white, they are black, they are brown, they are straight, they are gay, they are even trans. They are Chinese, they are Korean, they are Turkish. They are all over the world. There is more of us than there is of these leftists that want to call everybody foul names so that they can justify their foul actions. Just ask the 1.8 billion people in China who by mass follow traditional human values. Ask them in China how much white privilege there is. Get my point? And I can do this with dozens of countries. We are the majority. We are the husbands and wives. We are the fathers and mothers. Don't let the left dehumanize this stuff and us any longer. Just stop them in the tracks. My advice, tell them to shut the fuck up as soon as they bring in Trump derangement syndrome or that everybody on the right is a white supremacist. It's hilarious how many Black people, how many Mexican people, how many Chinese people. I mean, you got people from the hood, people in the richest places in the world, all out there saying that they are traditional and they're not leftists, and they're all speaking out against the left. It's crazy how many non-white people are traditional valued human beings, yet the left keeps calling everybody Klansmen and Nazis. No matter how many Black people move over to the right because they're sick of the left. Now, as to the future of my business, I will no longer build an audience unvetted. I will no longer tolerate any of these names and accusations meant to treat humans like dirt. So if in the last 12 years you are guilty of calling people Nazi, KKK, alt-right, white guilt, oppressor, homophobe, transphobe, or any language meant to stereotype a mass of people who don't vote left, I will delete you myself. Kindly show yourself the way out. You are not meant for my art, my love, my music, or even my conversation any longer. Now, I am glad Charlie Kirk bring debate to campuses, and I know there's thousands of people picking up his microphone, and they're going to go out and debate and conversate. But I'm an artist. I'm a musician. My communication is, by its very nature, rhetorical. I share my expressions, I share my feelings, and I paint and I sing and I do all sorts of artwork. And it's not necessarily meant to open up a conversation. It is meant to open up minds, though. So if you're unapologetic about the left's behavior and unwilling to walk away from this hate group, please exit my page and business. I will not share art with people who are destroying peace on earth. I will not share my music or my design skills with people who hate on the grounds of a vote or ideology. And to be very clear, no, the right and the left are not equally guilty. I have sat here as a Democrat for 50 of my 55 years on this earth. And everybody I know that votes Republican, I'm not going to say everybody, but 99% of the people that I know that are moderate, independent, libertarian, some people write in somebody besides the red and the blue vote. There is billions of people on this planet that don't follow leftist ideology, and they don't have to. This group of people is willing to completely destroy peace on earth unless you bow down to everything that they stand for. The problem I have with the left is quite simple. They have no moral center. They have nothing that they share in common. So they cannot create a set of rules and boundaries for all of society to live in peace. For example, here in San Francisco, you can go down Folsom and 9th Street and you will see a sexual mural of two men in leather having a sexual experience right out on public sidewalk. So if you're Amish, maybe Jewish, maybe you're agnostic like myself, and you're walking down the street with your 3-year-old daughter, you don't even have to be a kid. What is wrong with an Amish woman having the right to walk down a street in a major city and not have to see a sexualized mural of leather boys having sex on the side of a wall? What right do gay men have in standing naked on Market Street and forcing all of us to come out of the boundaries of society? We don't have a problem with being gay or you being lesbian or you being polyamorous or whatever it is that you want to do in your bedroom. But that's where it belongs, in the privacy of your own home. We as a society have agreed that we don't do nudity in public, that we don't do indecency in public. And yet the left keeps making laws and rules excusing fentanyl addicts and homeless people from shitting and pissing all over our streets, as if we already didn't decide that this is indecent, and that when you walk out in public, that you respect all people. And this is my problem with the left, is they do not have a common ground. They have no way of creating a common moral code that all of us can follow. In fact, their entire game is to slam all of these civilized behaviors in your face. Have you been to the Folsom Street Fair? Have you been to a Pride event? I have been to several. I'm from San Francisco. I've been here my whole life. And to be clear, you have a hard time being in San Francisco if you're homophobic or transphobic or racist. This is the most sexually, socially, and racially diverse city probably in the entire planet. And I'm going to end on this too. America. We are the absolute pinnacle when it comes to diversity, social diversity, sexual diversity, racial diversity. There has been no civilization, state, government, country in the entire human history that has done a better job of bringing all people together under one country than America. So I ask my liberal leftist friends, how can America be the absolute pinnacle of diversity, and at the same time, you are burning, looting, and killing people who don't want to side with a leftist ideology? My business needs good people, people who can talk, people who can be gay, people who can be straight, people who can criticize each other. Because you better believe I have criticism for other human beings. It's called love and care. It's also called compassion. So just because somebody doesn't agree with me doesn't mean I hate them. It does mean I will show care. And I will tell you that society has a lot of problems right now. And I don't hate anybody because I stand up and talk about the problems facing human beings. The internet has brought us and smashed us all together and given us no boundaries of organization or a manner to understand what we're doing right now. And that takes all of us. We're all slammed in this doom scrolling world of social media where keyboard warriors sit here and talk in a manner that they wouldn't talk to your face. As an example, there is a piercer in Portland who is, I don't know, about 5'4", 130 pounds. And online, he called me a Klansman. This man would never speak to me to my face like this. And I'm not telling you I would be violent. I don't have to be violent. I've trained in combat and martial arts for fucking decades. The very fact that I know how to be violent means that people do not normally mess with me. You see, gentlemen know how to be violent and not use it unless we absolutely have to. But this world on the internet has created a place where people feel safe absolutely insulting the crap out of other people because there's no consequences. This guy's in Portland. How am I supposed to go do anything about it? I mean, all I would really have to do is stand in his face and dare him to say it again. And when he did it, he would be guilty of a hate crime. And that's what I want to remind normal people, average people. I don't care if you're liberal or Democrat. I've been liberal and Democrat my whole life. I didn't vote Republican until the last couple of years, few years. So this idea that if you're not leftist and liberal, you must be a Klansman and you must be an evil Christian or something, which is really funny because I don't know if people know, but the God of Abraham, the Old Testament, Muslims, Jews, Christians, they all share that same God. So when you call someone who has traditional values some foul name, you're literally calling a multicultural, multiracial group of religious people across the entire planet Nazis, even though Christians, Muslims, and Jews come in every color, taste, type. And yes, they even come in gay and trans, lesbian, and whatever the hell else. Because you know what? Nobody tells you how to believe in God. No, well, I guess they tell you how to believe in God, but nobody forces you to believe in God the way that they believe in God. And believing in God, and I'm not Christian. My wife is Catholic. We definitely follow some Christian values because I see nothing wrong with the Ten Commandments. Matter of fact, I think they're beautiful. If we paid attention to it, we might be a better people. And you don't have to be Christian. You don't even have to believe in God to know that you shouldn't steal, that you shouldn't murder, that you shouldn't cheat and sleep with your neighbor's wife. And I'm going to say this, in the Bible, they talk about heterosexual people curbing their sexual appetite 100 times more than they talk about any ideology that opposes homosexuality. It's literally in the Bible like 3 times for the one, whereas almost every book talks about sexual discipline. And I don't know what's wrong with sexual discipline. I taught my children to have sexual discipline. I can tell you this, when I didn't discipline myself sexually, I hurt myself and everybody around me. And the left doesn't want to talk about this. They just want you to have free sex and act like everybody who has sex has nothing to be ashamed about. But I can tell you, in my life, the things that I feel most bad about are generally involved in sex. So this idea that you're supposed to have pride unconditionally in the type of sex you have is absolutely ridiculous. In closing, I'm not here to spread my beliefs or how me and my wife raise our family. I am here to tell you to get the fuck out of my family. You have no bearing, you have no right to talk to myself or my children or my soon-to-be grandchildren that I hope I have anything about your way of life. They will come in contact with you one way or the other. But while they're my children, I ask you, leave us alone. You know nothing about my life. You've already accused me of being a Klansman and a Nazi because when I voted Democrat, I told my other Democrat friends to shut up. You don't get to call my Russian family who votes Republican Nazis. In fact, it was the Russian country that defeated Hitler. I believe it was 20 million dead Russians so that they could defeat Hitler. It wasn't America. So when you call my family or any Russian who votes Republican instead of Democrat a Nazi, man, you are a disturbed people and you need help. And I don't hate you. I don't hate any of the people. I'm sickened by you. I'm disgusted by you. And like I said, I'm not Christian. I'm agnostic. I don't do a lot of praying. But in the simple words, I pray for you. And I pray for my friends who are so diehard liberal Democrat that they don't even see that they're a hate group now. But I ask you to listen to my words and tell me how you're not a hate group. When you call anybody who votes red Republican a white Nazi, you yourself have just committed the crime of no tolerance. You've stereotyped every person who voted Republican as white, which is absolutely ridiculous in a country with more than 500 million people in our fucking streets at any given day. It's absolutely ridiculous. Now, I hope you love people. I hope you share love with people. I do hope that you apologize if you've been one of these people that have called everybody Nazis and Klansmen just because they don't agree and align with your leftist ideology. Shit. I don't think I've ever even talked to a liberal that agrees with everything liberals do. And I guess you could say, does everybody on the right agree with everything the right does? What about the alt-right? I mean, this is a charade. These people actually think there's 200 million white Americans who are Nazis. That's how bad the Kool-Aid drinking, brainwashing propaganda has been to liberal people. And it's your politicians who have said to punch Donald Trump in the face. It was your politicians that said to get out, riot, and burn. It was your politicians that said to follow other politicians around and yell and scream at them and disrupt them simply because they voted red instead of blue. Well, I think the world woke up. Charlie Kirk's Charlie Kirk's assassination seems to have woken up the entire world. And I'm warning the left, start apologizing and start meeting us in the middle. That's it. There's no other words. There's no violence. There's no need to be derogatory. I'm just asking you to seek forgiveness. I'm asking you to come back to the middle and allow yourself to realize that if there's people out there that want to believe that homosexuality is incorrect, that's their right to believe that. Just like if there's people out there that want to believe that heterosexual relationships are the greatest thing in humanity, well, guess what? We have a right to think that. And because I think that, or my wife thinks that, or any of my children think that, doesn't mean we hate anyone. We don't have to agree with your lifestyle. We don't have to agree with your religion. We don't have to agree with anything that you say. And it doesn't make us evil people. Disagreement does not equal hate. And that is what the left has been teaching you for 12 or 15 years now, that if they disagree with you, if they don't vote for us, then they are a hate group. And I think I've proven my point. The left is a gigantic hate group. I pray for you. I care about you, and I hope you come to your senses. I am here for anybody who wants to have a conversation about forgiveness and understanding. But if you're going to call everybody Nazi, I'm done with you. Get away from my business. That's it. This is Peter Bogdanoff. I'm just an artist in San Francisco and in Florida. I do share and express myself through art and music. And if expressing myself through art and music offends you, then stop, get out, go, get out of here. I do not care. I do not want you in my life. If I do an art piece about something that bothers me and then you want to call me names, just leave. Get out of here. Much love to my brothers and sisters who are in the middle, who are loving people and caring for people. And I do ask you to forgive these leftists for their vile comments. I know a lot of us are just bewildered online because the amount of hate that we're seeing is so disgusting. And it's funny, the people that say they're the party of peace are the ones out here being disgusting, actually praising a political assassination. That's disgusting. And if you're one of those people, I feel really bad for you. For the rest of us, peace and love. I wish nothing but the best for the world. There is billions of people on this planet, and we can get along. We do not have to agree to get along. It's simple. You be you, I be me. Peace and love.